The vanguard fleet of the Arcturus Dominion emerged from hyperspace at the edge of Sol's heliopause, their crystalline ships reflecting the distant starlight like shards of cosmic glass. Supreme Commander Nira stood at the observation deck of the flagship Eternal Dawn, her iridescent scales shifting colors as she processed the preliminary scans of the third planet. Earth, a world that had captured the Dominion's attention not through its technological achievements or military might, but through its electromagnetic emissions, an endless stream of music, stories, and messages that had been inadvertently broadcasting their presence to the cosmos for over a century. Analysis complete, Supreme Commander reported First Observer Kex, his neural interface pulsing with streams of data. The species designates themselves as humans. Technological level, pre-interstellar, military capability, localized to planetary defense, cultural assessment, highly fractious, with multiple competing power structures. Naira's secondary eyes blinked in sequence, a gesture of contemplation among her species. The standard protocols for first contact with pre-interstellar civilizations were clear: demonstrate overwhelming technological superiority, establish diplomatic relations from a position of strength, and gradually integrate the species into the Dominion's sphere of influence. But something about the data troubled her. There's an inconsistency in the energy readings, she noted, her crystalline interface expanding to display a complex network of planetary power distributions. Their visible infrastructure suggests Type 0.7 civilization development, but there are subtle power fluctuations that don't match known patterns. First Observer Kex adjusted his sensors, his neural tendrils writhing in confusion. Perhaps atmospheric interference. The planet's magnetosphere is unusually active. No. Naira's scales shifted to deep purple, indicating intense focus. This is something else. Launch the probe network, full spectrum analysis. And Kex, initialize the first contact protocols, but maintain combat readiness. Something about this world feels prepared. As the Dominion's automated probes descended through Earth's atmosphere, Dr. Sarah Chen sat in her underground laboratory beneath the Atacama Desert, watching their approach through a network of quantum sensors disguised as astronomical research equipment. Her fingers danced across holographic interfaces, each movement precisely choreographed to appear as normal scientific activity to any watching eyes. "They're right on schedule," she subvocalized, her words carried through bone conduction to the Global Defense Network. Pattern matches the Sentinel Protocol predictions. Beginning Phase 1. Across the planet, in thousands of seemingly ordinary locations, humanity's true face began to emerge. In a small farming community in Kansas, silos that appeared to store grain quietly transformed into quantum communication arrays. Beneath the busy streets of Singapore, maintenance tunnels reconfigured into command and control centers. Along the coast of Norway, what looked like wind farms subtly adjusted their positions, revealing their dual purpose as advanced sensor networks. The Arcturus probes detected none of this. They saw exactly what humanity wanted them to see: a planet of scattered nations, competing interests, and limited technological capability. The perfect target for standard first contact protocols. Fascinating primitive architecture, one of Naira's cultural analysts noted, examining images of Earth's major cities. They still primarily utilize fixed structures with minimal adaptive capability. Naira wasn't convinced. 2 centuries of first contact experiences had honed her instincts, and something about Earth felt different. The power fluctuations were too precise, the global communication patterns too organized beneath their chaotic surface. "Begin the approach sequence," she commanded, her scales shifting to the formal colors of first contact protocol. "But maintain full shields and prepare the temporal dampeners. I want to know exactly what we're dealing with." As the Dominion fleet began their carefully choreographed approach to Earth, Dr. Chen allowed herself a small smile. Humanity had spent decades preparing for this moment, ever since the first quantum predictions had suggested the inevitability of alien contact. But unlike other species the Dominion had encountered, Earth had chosen a different path. Instead of racing to develop obvious defensive capabilities or attempting to hide their presence, humanity had created something unprecedented, a planetary nervous system disguised as ordinary infrastructure. Every cell phone tower, every satellite, every power grid was part of an invisible network of sensors and response systems. The entire planet had been transformed into an immune system waiting to activate. "We detected your approach 3 years ago," she broadcast to the Dominion fleet, using their own communication protocols. "Every simulation, every possible first contact scenario. We've been preparing for them all. Not by building weapons or shields, but by turning our entire civilization into a response system." In orbit, Naira watched as her understanding of human civilization completely transformed. The primitive power grids were quantum computation networks. The chaotic internet was a planetary-scale decision engine. Even human culture itself, their art, music, and entertainment, formed complex mimetic algorithms that helped process and respond to new situations. "They've achieved something we never considered possible," she told her command staff, her scales shifting to the gold of respectful awe. "Instead of advancing through obvious technological progression, they've evolved their entire civilization into a single integrated system. Every human is both an individual and part of a vast, living planetary intelligence." As if to demonstrate this truth, the pattern of lights across Earth's night side shifted. Cities dimmed and brightened in complex sequences, forming what the Dominion's cultural databases recognize as a mathematical proof, one that demonstrated humanity's complete understanding of the Dominion's own technological principles. "This is why we didn't detect their true capabilities," Kex realized. "We were looking for advancement in all the wrong places. Their strength isn't in their individual technologies. It's in how they've integrated everything into a single living system." Dr. Chen nodded as she monitored the Dominion's reactions. Humanity had spent generations preparing for this moment, not by trying to match alien technology piece by piece, but by turning their entire civilization into something unprecedented, a planetary organism that could think, adapt, and respond as a single entity while preserving individual human freedom and creativity. The game of shadows was over. Now it was time to show the Arcturus Dominion exactly what humanity could do when they stopped pretending to be primitive. Phase 3 was about to begin, and with it, the true demonstration of Earth's capabilities. Supreme Commander Nira had witnessed first contact with 17 different civilizations, but never had she encountered anything like this. As Earth's true nature revealed itself, the Dominion sensors struggled to categorize what they were seeing. Every human system seemed to serve multiple purposes, each layer of their civilization hiding deeper complexity. "They're scanning us," First Observer Kex reported, his neural tendrils pulsing with increased activity. "But not with any technology we can detect. It's as if their entire civilization is acting as a sensor array." In the Atacama Command Center, Dr. Chen watched the Dominion's fleet through Earth's distributed awareness. Every radio telescope, every cell phone, every smart device had become part of a vast sensing network. But it went beyond mere technology. The patterns of bird migrations had been subtly altered to create biological radar. Marine life movements tracked ship positions, and even atmospheric patterns contributed to Earth's understanding of the visitors. "Begin active analysis," she commanded. The planetary network responded instantly, shifting from passive observation to direct interaction with the Dominion's presence. In orbit, Naira watched in fascination as Earth's response unfolded. The humans weren't just observing. They were conducting an intricate dance of information gathering and processing that utilized every aspect of their world. Urban light patterns shifted in sequences that probed the Dominion ship's sensor capabilities. Global weather patterns subtly adjusted, creating atmospheric lenses that analyzed the fleet's energy emissions. Even the planet's magnetosphere showed signs of deliberate manipulation, used as a vast electromagnetic sensing system. "Remarkable," Naira murmured, her scales shifting to the deep violet of scientific curiosity. They've turned their entire biosphere into an information processing system. Every living thing on their planet contributes to their awareness. The truth was even more profound than the Dominion realized. Humanity had spent generations developing what they called the Living Earth Protocol, a way of integrating every aspect of planetary life into a single, coherent system. Plants processed solar energy not just for growth but for computation. Animal migration patterns carried encoded information. Even bacteria had been subtly guided to form vast, distributed processing networks. "We're detecting unusual patterns in their ocean currents," one of NIRA's analysts reported. "They appear to be using fluid dynamics for quantum computation." Dr. Chen smiled as she watched the Dominion's growing understanding. The oceans had indeed become vast quantum computers, their natural movements harnessed for both calculation and communication. The Gulf Stream alone had more processing power than many civilizations' dedicated computer networks. But the true marvel was how all of this had remained hidden. Humanity had advanced not by building obvious megastructures or powerful weapons, but by enhancing what already existed. Every tree, every insect, every wave, all had become part of Earth's planetary intelligence, while appearing completely natural to outside observers. Their cities, Kex suddenly announced, his neural interface pulsing with new insights. They're not just habitation centers. They're alive. He was right. Human cities had evolved into complex organisms in their own right. Traffic patterns regulated energy flow like blood through veins. Building temperatures adjusted in concert to create vast thermal computing systems. Even the daily movements of millions of people had been subtly influenced to contribute to the city's computational capabilities. "Send the recognition signal," Dr. Chen commanded. Across the planet, thousands of seemingly ordinary systems synchronized. City lights, ocean currents, atmospheric patterns, and countless other elements aligned to transmit a single coherent message to the Dominion fleet. In orbit, NIRA watched as her ship's quantum processors decoded the transmission. It wasn't just a message, it was a complete technical analysis of the Dominion's fleet, including several potential improvements to their own systems that the humans had derived simply by observation. They'd surpassed us, NIRA realized, her scales shifting to the gold white of profound revelation. Not in raw technology, but in integration and efficiency. They've achieved what our scientists thought impossible: true planetary consciousness without sacrificing individual autonomy. Dr. Chen nodded as she monitored the Dominion's response. Earth had indeed achieved something unique in the galaxy. Instead of trying to conquer nature or build artificial systems to replace it, humanity had learned to work with their planet's existing processes, enhancing and directing them while maintaining their essential character. The network of life that was Earth had become humanity's greatest achievement, not a tool to be used, but a living system to be part of. Every human being remained free and independent, yet also part of something greater, contributing to and benefiting from the planetary consciousness they had helped create. As Phase 3 completed its initial analysis of the Dominion fleet, Dr. Chen prepared for the next stage of contact. It was time to show their visitors not just what humanity had achieved, but what they could offer to the galaxy. The real exchange of knowledge was about to begin. The Arcturus Dominion had encountered adaptive systems before, but nothing like this. As Supreme Commander NIRA watched Earth's responses to their presence, she witnessed something unprecedented: an entire civilization learning and evolving in real time. They're improving our scanning protocols, First Observer Kex reported, his neural tendrils twisted in confusion. Somehow they're taking our own sensor data and sending it back to us with optimizations we never considered. In the Atacama Command Center, Dr. Chen monitored the exchange with quiet satisfaction. Earth's distributed intelligence was doing what it did best: learning, adapting, and growing from every new experience. The Dominion's presence wasn't just being observed, it was being integrated into humanity's understanding of the universe. "Initiate the Prometheus Protocol," she commanded. Across the planet, the living network that humanity had created began to shift into its next phase of evolution. In orbit, Naira's sensors detected subtle changes in Earth's response patterns. The humans weren't just analyzing the Dominion's technology anymore. They were actively experimenting with new possibilities that combined alien concepts with Earth's unique approach to advancement. "Extraordinary," she murmured, her scales shifting to the deep blue of intellectual fascination. "They're not trying to copy our technology. They're finding ways to achieve the same results using their integrated systems." The truth was even more remarkable than the Dominion realized. Humanity had developed the ability to rapidly prototype new technologies, not through traditional research and development, but through the collective processing power of their planetary consciousness. Urban centers across Earth began subtle transformations. Buildings adjusted their energy signatures, testing theories about the Dominion's propulsion systems. Traffic patterns shifted to model quantum field interactions. Even the planet's weather patterns were being subtly influenced to experiment with new forms of energy. "Their adaptation rate is unprecedented," Kex reported, his neural interface struggling to keep pace with the changes. "They're not just learning from us. They're exploring possibilities we never considered." Dr. Chen watched as Earth's distributed intelligence processed centuries of Dominion technological development in hours. But instead of simply replicating alien technology, humanity was finding its own unique solutions. The oceans themselves became vast experimental laboratories, their currents modeling complex physical principles. The atmosphere turned into a testing ground for new forms of energy manipulation. Even the planet's magnetic field was being subtly adjusted to explore concepts that the Dominion had never considered possible. "They're not just adapting," Naira realized, her scales shifting to the gold of profound understanding. "They're showing us new ways to think about technology itself." She was right. Humanity had taken a fundamentally different approach to technological advancement. Instead of building machines to conquer nature, they had learned to work with natural systems, enhancing and directing them while maintaining their essential character. A simple example manifested in the skies above Earth. Rather than creating artificial gravity systems like the Dominion ships, humans had learned to manipulate existing gravitational fields through the coordinated movement of mass and energy across their planet. The result was more efficient and far more elegant than anything the Dominion had achieved. "We're detecting unusual patterns in their global network," one of Naira's analysts reported. "It appears they're not just studying our technology, they're proposing improvements to it." Dr. Chen nodded as she reviewed the data. Earth's distributed intelligence had indeed identified several potential optimizations to Dominion technology. But more importantly, they were developing entirely new approaches that combined the best of both civilizations' understanding. The planet's response to the Dominion's presence had become a vast experiment in collaborative advancement. Every interaction, every exchange of information, contributed to a growing synthesis of different approaches to understanding the universe. "Their strength isn't in their technology," Naira concluded, addressing her command staff. "It's in their ability to learn, adapt, and integrate new knowledge into their planetary consciousness. They don't just develop new technologies, they evolve with them." As if in response to her observation, Earth's night side lit up with a spectacular display. Cities across the planet coordinated their lights to demonstrate a new theory of space-time manipulation, one that merged Dominion quantum mechanics with humanity's understanding of natural systems. The result was something neither civilization had imagined possible: a way to achieve faster-than-light travel not through brute force technology, but through careful manipulation of existing space-time fabric using principles derived from Earth's own natural systems. Dr. Chen prepared for the final phase of contact. Humanity had shown the Dominion not just what they had achieved, but what was possible when different approaches to understanding the universe came together. It was time for both civilizations to begin learning from each other in earnest. Supreme Commander Nera stood in the observation chamber of the Eternal Dawn, her scales shifting through colors that the Dominion had no names for. After centuries of first contact experiences, she was witnessing something that would forever change how spacefaring civilizations viewed technological advancement. The final analysis is complete. First observer Kex announced, his neural tendrils pulsing with barely contained excitement. What the humans have achieved. It challenges everything we thought we knew about civilization development. In the Atacama Command Center, Dr. Sarah Chen prepared for direct communication with the Dominion fleet. Earth's distributed intelligence had finished its comprehensive analysis of their visitors, and the results had profound implications for both species. "Begin transmission," she commanded. The planet's integrated systems aligned, creating a communication channel unlike anything the Dominion had encountered before. It wasn't just a transmission of data, it was an invitation to experience Earth's consciousness directly. Naira accepted the connection, and her understanding of reality expanded. Through Earth's planetary network, she experienced something unprecedented: the simultaneous perspective of billions of individual minds working in harmony while maintaining their unique identities. "This is how we see the universe." Dr. Chen's voice resonated through the connection. Not as something to be conquered or controlled, but as a system to be part of and enhance. The truth of humanity's achievement became clear. They hadn't just built advanced technology. They had fundamentally reimagined what technology could be. Every human invention, from the simplest tool to their most complex systems, worked with nature rather than against it. "Your civilization has achieved something we thought impossible," Naira transmitted back, her thoughts carried through the planetary network. "You found a way to advance technologically without losing connection to your world's natural systems." Cities across Earth pulsed with light in response, their patterns forming complex mathematical proofs that demonstrated the efficiency of their approach. The oceans shifted in calculated rhythms, showing how natural processes could be enhanced rather than replaced. "We learned early in our development," Dr. Chen explained, "that the most powerful technologies aren't those that dominate nature, but those that work in harmony with it. Every living thing on Earth is part of our advancement." The Dominion sensors recorded examples of this philosophy in action. Instead of artificial gravity generators, humans used coordinated mass distribution across their planet. Rather than energy shields, they had developed ways to redirect and harmonize with incoming forces. Their computers weren't isolated machines, but integrated parts of living systems. "Your approach changes everything," Naira realized, her scales shifting to the white gold of transcendent understanding. The Dominion has always measured civilization by its ability to overcome natural limitations, but you've shown us that true advancement means working within natural systems, enhancing them rather than replacing them. Through their connection, both species began to see new possibilities. The Dominion's mastery of quantum mechanics combined with humanity's integrated systems approach opened doors to technologies neither had imagined possible. Natural processes could be enhanced far beyond their normal limits while maintaining their essential harmony. "This is why we revealed ourselves as we did," Dr. Chen shared. "Not to demonstrate superiority, but to show that there are different paths to advancement. The universe isn't something to be conquered. It's something to be understood and enhanced." Across Earth, the living network that humanity had created pulsed with potential. Cities, oceans, forests, and the countless living things that called Earth home all contributed to a demonstration of what was possible when technology evolved in harmony with nature rather than in opposition to it. "We offer an exchange," Naira transmitted, her decision supported by the full authority of the Dominion. "Not a traditional sharing of technology, but a true collaboration. Our civilizations have walked different paths, and together we might find new ways forward that neither of us could discover alone." The response came not just from Dr. Chen or the Atacama Command Center, but from Earth itself. The entire planetary network aligned to transmit a single, unified message of agreement. It was humanity's first official response as a true planetary civilization. As the Eternal Dawn's crew watched, Earth began to glow with a subtle luminescence, not from artificial lights or technology, but from the coordinated bioluminescence of trillions of microscopic organisms in its oceans and atmosphere. It was a display of what was possible when technology and nature worked as one. "This is just the beginning," Dr. Chen said, her words carried through the planetary network. "Together, we can explore what civilization means when we stop trying to conquer the universe and learn instead to become part of its natural systems." The future that opened before both species was bright with possibility. The Dominion's vast knowledge combined with humanity's innovative approach promised advances that would benefit all life in the galaxy. This first contact had become something more, the beginning of a new understanding of what technology and civilization could be. As the stars wheeled overhead, Earth continued its ancient dance around the sun, but now with a new purpose. Humanity had shown the galaxy a different path forward, one that promised not just advancement, but harmony with the very fabric of existence itself.